Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sage Business Cloud Accounting Software online lecture series. Today is our third session. Today we will start from document and statement settings. Okay. You can go to document and statements from company, change company settings, select document and statements. Now, in this section, we will discuss how to set document messages, how to set document numbers for invoices, quotations, purchase orders, sales orders, then document description, customer document messages, supplier document messages, and how to design invoice layouts. Okay. All right, first we will start from statement messages. Now, in this software, you can send customer statements. Okay, you can go to customers, reports, customer statement run. From here, you can email your customer statements to your customers. Now, when you are sending these customer statements based on their customers' outstanding, you can set a message. Okay. Now, from this, you can view customer age analysis 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days. Like that, you can view customer outstanding. Now, based on this customer outstanding, you can set a message. Okay. Now, for an example, this customer has 120 plus days outstanding. Now, here we can set statement messages, please settle immediately. Then, if you have set any statement messages based on that customer's outstanding number of days, system will display that message. Okay. Now here, this customer has 120 plus days outstanding. Therefore, system will display this message. We'll take another customer. Okay, we'll add a new customer and we'll check that. We'll enter customer invoice, go to customers, transaction, add a tax invoice, select customer. I'll backdate an invoice. Go to customers reports, customer statement. Now you can see that this customer has 6 days outstanding. Therefore, system will display, please settle ASAP. Okay, like that, based on customers' outstanding number of days, you can set statement messages. Okay. Right. Next, we will move to document numbers. Now, you can enter transactions from here, customer transactions and supplier transactions. Now, for each transaction, you can set a number. Okay. You can see this document number. So when you implement in the system and before start transactions, you need to set these numbers. Now, there may be two scenarios. First scenario is you will implement in the system for new company. In that case, you can start from fresh number here and you can continue. Or you may migrating from another system, or if you are doing manually, you may have a different serial number. And when you are migrating to this system, you can continue that document numbers. Now, for an example, assume you are doing, if you are using another software, and that software, your last invoice number is INV 0010. So if you are implementing here, you can set new document number as INV 0011. Okay, your last number in previous system INV 0010. Therefore, this system you can use INV 0011. So after that, after you set this number, system will continue that number. Okay, only once you need to set this number. After that, system will continue that number. For these transactions, you can set numbers for quotations, sales orders, customer invoice, credit note, customer receipts, customer recurring invoice, customer adjustment, and customer bad debt relief, customer bad debt recovered, supplier purchase order, supplier invoice, and supplier return. Okay, for these transactions, you can set document numbers, and also supplier payment, supplier adjustment, output tax adjustment, and input tax adjustments. Now, when you enter any transaction, there's a number section. So these numbers will automatically pick from that these document numbers. Now, if you have set INV 0011, when you are enter transaction invoice, it will take INV 0011. After that, for next invoice, it will take INV 0012. Like that, it will increase the serial number and it will automatically update. And when you are implementing any system, it's better if you can maintain that meaningful document numbers, and it should be, if it is better if you can use simple document numbers. Okay, now for an example, per year you will invoice only 1,000 invoices per year. So if you use very long number of digits, it will take, now for an example, here after INV there are 7 digits. That means you can enter around 10 million invoices. You can enter this 9,999,999 invoices you can use for same serial number. And if you are using, if you are invoicing very less amount, you can reduce this number of digits. Okay, and also if you are increasing more numbers, you can increase the number of digits. Okay. Like that, you can set meaningful document numbers when you are implementing the system. Next, document description. Now here, you can print your invoices and your documents. Here says, first time when you are printing that original name, it will print this name. And if you are printing more than once, from second time, it will display this copy name. Now for an example, if you are printing invoice, first time when you are printing, it will print as same invoice number. When you are printing first time, it's display tax invoice. And if you are printing more than once the same invoice, system will display copy tax invoice. Okay, like this. You can set as a control. You can set copy name. Then when you are printing more than one time, system will automatically display as copy. We'll check this one. You'll enter one credit note. Go to customers, transactions, customer credit notes, and click add credit note. You can select customer here. And you can take from your invoice. And we can preview. Okay, now it's displayed as a credit note. Now our credit note number is CRN 00030. We will open same credit note again, and we will preview or we will print. Now you can see it's a display copy. Okay, we'll check from here also. We'll preview, then it will display copy credit note. Now, when you are printing first time, it's credit note. If you are printing more than once, it will display as copy credit note. Before the transaction name, it will display copy. This can be used as a control, and sometimes your users may issue same invoice and charge from customers. So you can minimize those. You can implement this kind of control and minimize user frauds. Okay. Right. Next, we will move to customer document messages. Now, when you are creating customer documents, you'll create customer call, customer quotation. Click add quote. Now here you can see document message. Okay. Now for an example, if you are issue any customer quotation, you want to mention this quotation valid only for 30 days. Okay. Or else when you are printing your invoices, you want to mention your bank details in the invoice. Okay. Right. If you want to mention that particular message in your documents, you can set from here. Now for this quotation, we have set validity period 30 days. Therefore, when you open any quotation, system will display this message. And when you are printing or when you are processing this transaction, if you want, you can change or you can continue with the same message. Now, if you set any default message, it's easy to users because every time they don't want to type, you can set a default message here. Then when the user intent transaction, it will display here. And if they want to change, they can change from here. And also you can set different messages from here. You can set different messages and you can select that message. Now here we can set by clicking add message, and we will set first you need to set a description, and you can set a message. And save. If you want to, you can add messages by clicking add message and enter description and enter message. After that, you can save. Then that message will display here. You can select that message. Okay. Then you don't want to type again and again, you can select that message. Next, supply document messages. Same way, you can set document messages for suppliers. Now, for an example, if you are sending purchase orders, you want to deliver to particular location. In that case, you can set that document location in this supply document messages. Then system, when you enter that purchase order, system will display that document message. Here also, if you want, you can set messages, and from there you can select your purchase order message. Okay, like that you can set default messages, and you can save that transaction entry time. You can save. Next, invoice and statement layouts. Now from here you can design your statements such as invoices, quotations, purchase orders. Those documents you can design. Now for design that, you need to download that layout designer. Now if you design invoices, you can select that layouts from here. Now for an example, when you are invoicing, you may issue tax invoices and non-tax invoices. So VAT registered customers, you may issue VAT invoice or SVAT invoice. However, non-tax customers, you will issue non-tax invoice. In that case, you can set or you can design two layouts, that tax invoice and non-tax invoice. And when you are invoicing, you can select relevant tax layout or invoice layout. Then system will pick that or print that layout based on that customer. In addition to that, when you are creating customer, you can link that layout to customer. Okay. Customer, click add a customer, scroll to right side, and you can see report layouts. From here, you can set that now for an example, SVAT invoice. Then when you select this customer, system will automatically select that SVAT layout. And if you set tax invoice or non-tax invoice, system will select that layout. Okay, so first you can design layout. After that, you can link that layout to customer, and when you enter transaction for that customer, system will automatically pick that relevant layout. Okay, right. Now before download this layout designer, you can practice this first 5 settings. You can take few minutes and you can practice this: statement messages, document numbers, document description, customer document messages, and supplier document messages. You can enter few transactions and you can practice this. After that, we will discuss how to download this invoice layout design. Okay, right. Now you can design your layouts, quotations, sales orders, invoices, credit note, customer statement, delivery note, purchase orders, those documents. And for design that, you need to download this accounting custom layout design. You can download that layout designer by clicking here button. You can click this clicking here button. Then you will redirect to this site. And from here, you can click more and select add-on modules. And please scroll down. And here you can see accounting custom layout designer for Windows. Okay, by clicking this download, you can download this add-on module or accounting custom layout designer. Okay, I repeat it again. You can design your documents such as quotations, sales orders, tax invoices, credit note, custom statements, delivery note, purchase orders. These documents you can design. For layout design, you need to download this custom layout designer. You can download that accounting custom layout designer by clicking this, clicking here link. After that, select more and select add-on modules. After that, scroll down. From here, this download, you can download your accounting custom layout design. Okay. This has 77.2 MB, and by clicking this download, you can download the app. Okay, you can see this app downloaded, and you can open that app and you can run that app. Okay, after that you can accept and you can download. Okay, I have already downloaded, therefore I cancel that download. Next, after you download that app, you can see layout designer in your desktop. You can double click that layout designer and you can log into the layout designer. Okay, it will take little time to open that layout designer. Okay, now from here you can enter your username. And you can enter your password. After you log into system, you can select which document you are going to design. There are 4 sections: quotations, sales orders, tax invoices, credit notes, customer statements, purchase orders, supplier invoices, supplier returns, supplier statements, and delivery note. Now, if you want to design tax invoice, you can select first option. Then there may be few default layouts. Okay, you can select one default layout and click design. After that, this invoice layout designer will display. You can customize this layout designer, or this layout you can customize. You can change your logo position, or you can resize, and this report layouts or report subjects you can change. You can change that font size, font style. After you select from this appearance, you can change that font sizes. Like this, you can change. And if you want to change colors, you can change. And you can align. And if you want to add more fields, by clicking this field list, you can add fields to this layout. Okay, there are few sections: company, customer, customer document header, document line, document user defined fields, and registration information. Company means your company details. If you take any field from here, now for an example, if you take this email, it will display your company email. Then customer details also available. If you want to add customer balance to this layout, you can drag and drop this customer balance, then it will display customer balance. Then other details: credit limit, delivery address, postal address, tax reference, those details you can just drag and drop. This is not difficult like earlier days. Even you don't have any programming knowledge or any IT knowledge, you can just drag and drop these fields and you can design your layout. Okay. And some customer document headers there. Customer document header means this section, this page header. Next, you can see document line. Document line is this section, that invoice line section. Okay. From here also you can add that item code, item description, quantity, unit price, discount, line discount, those details you can add here. And below that, and also that document header include header and footer both, this section also. In user defined fields, you can add user defined fields. Like that, you can design this layout. Okay. And after that, you can save. Now, if you design any default layout, you cannot save from same name. If you want to design, you can use a different name. Now you can save. Then this name will change to new name. Okay. Now you can go to that your system, we'll open one tax invoice. We will change this. Now, after you save that layout, from here, you can select that layout. Now we will preview this. Okay, now you can see this. I have added company email address here and customer balance. So that details will display here. In addition to that, in addition to previous information, system will display this information. And also, I have aligned this document header to align here. Okay. Like that, you can design your invoice layouts and other document layouts. Okay. First, please download. After the session, you can download this custom accounting custom layout designer, and you can practice how to design your layouts. Okay. Right. Next, we will move to branding. Now, from branding, you can attach your company logo to the system, and when you are printing your documents, that invoices, purchase orders, quotation, this your company logo will display. Okay. Now here also our company logo will display, and you can set your company logo by clicking this choose file, and you can select your layout, or you can select your company logo. You can attach this kind of these format logos: JPG, TIFF, GIF, PNG, and BMP. These format images you can attach as your company logo. Next, you can select the position. You can select none. If you select none, that logo will not display in your documents. And top left, top right available. If you select top left, system will display top left side. And if you select top right, system will display that logo in top right side. And also you can preview this by clicking this preview button. Now here, top left, top right. If you change to top left, that logo side will change. Next, there are two options: logo and invoice and statement email. If you tick this, system will display your logo on invoices and statement emails. And if you tick this option, logo on customers on, you can view that that customers on also, that your company logo will display. Okay, and you can view your current saved logo. After that, you can save. Right, now you can practice how to attach your company logo. Okay, next we will move to user-defined fields. Now, when you are creating your customers, you can add these details. You can add the customer name, opening balance, credit limit, tax numbers, postal address, physical address, and contact details. Those details you can add. However, if you want to add more details, you can use this user-defined fields. Okay. Now, for an example, if you want to add customer NIC or customer birthday, those details you can add by using this user-defined fields. Okay. There are 3 text values, 3 numeric values, 3 date values, and 3 yes/no values. And now, if you go to this new customer, and click this user-defined fields tabs, you can view these details. And from here, you can change this label names. Now, for an example, in your system, that these values will be displayed as text value 1, text value 2, text value 3, or yes, no, field 1, like that. And numeric values, numeric value 1, numeric value 2, numeric value 3, like that. In your system, it will display. However, if you want to change these label names, you can change from here. If you type any name here, it will display here. Okay. After you enter here, and you can save, that label name will change. Like that, you can add or you can change customer user-defined fields. You can change supplier user-defined field. Supplier also you can add user-defined fields. Go to suppliers, click add a supplier, and select this user-defined fields tab. You can see cash supplier, because we have changed that text user field 1 to cash supplier. And you can see text values, 3 numeric values, 3 yes/no values, and 3 date values. So you can change these label names from here. Next, items. You can go to items, add an item, select user-defined fields. Here also you can see text values, numeric values, yes/no field values, and date values. So you can change that label names from here. Next, assets. Go to assets, go to company, assets, add an asset. Here also you can see user-defined fields. These fields you can change from here. In addition to that, few user-defined fields available for document and transactions. You can add user-defined field for quotations, customer sales orders, customer invoices, customer credit note, supplier purchase order, supplier invoice, supplier returns, banking transactions, and journal entries. Okay. Now, if you go to customers, transactions, customer codes, click add code, and from options you can view this show user-defined fields. So these field names you can change from here. Like that, you can rename your user-defined field names. Right, now you can practice how to change user-defined fields. You can change these customer, supplier, items, and assets, and you can go to few documents, and you can check that change names available in new document and these master files. Please take 5 minutes and change these user-defined field names. After you change these label names, you can save and you can test. Right. Next, we will move to email signatures. Now, from this system, you can create your transactions and you can email that transactions to your customers or suppliers. Now, for an example, after you create your quotations, you can email that quotation to your customers. Okay. Now, when you are sending this email, that email body you can design. Okay, this document you can design. We'll open tax invoice. Okay, you can email this. Now, you can see that tax invoice, that number available, then attachment available, and you can set that year and contact name, and please attach invoice, that invoice amount available, invoice number available, amount available, and these details available. I'll show you another one. Okay, invoice number available, amount available, and please contact. Those message you can set. Okay, now this message you can design from this email signatures. Okay, now you can preview this tax invoice layout designer. Here, tax invoice available. After that, this tax invoice number in brackets you can see. So if you set this, automatically system will take the invoice number. Next, dear. After that, contact name. So if you set this contact name, system will take that contact name from customer contact name. We'll open that customer also. If you go to customer list and open this customer, you can see this contact name. So system will take that customer name from the customer master file. Next, please find the attached invoice number for invoice total. So these details you can take from the invoice, and you can mention username and company name. Like that, you can design your email template. Okay. You can design email template for quotation, tax invoices, credit note, recurring invoices, customer statement run, sales orders, and purchase orders. You can add signatures by clicking this add signature, and you can set a name for that email signature. From type, you can select the transaction type. It's quotation, tax invoice, credit note, recurring invoice, customer statement run, or sales order. Now, if you are designing email signature for quotation, you can select quote. Next, you can set the subject. From here, from placeholders, you can set that details. Okay, now for an example here also, if you want to set dear, then if you want to add customer name or contact name, you can set contact name. like that. You can add details that quotation total, quotation expiry date, like that. This information you can set. After that, if you link this signature, when you are sending email based on this layout, email signature, system will send the email. And if you want to set this as a default email signature, you can tick this. Then when you are sending quotations, that email signature will display as default email signature. Okay, like that. You can design your email signatures. Go to email signatures and click add signature. Enter name for that signature, select document type, and you can design your email signature by attaching these placeholders. If you want to default this email signature, you can tick this option. Okay, now you can design few email signatures for your documents. You can take 5 minutes and you can practice this, how to add signatures. Okay, next we will move to multi-currency module. First, this is add-on module. You need to activate this multi-currency module. Go to administration, my profile, and click upgrade. And you can enter one under multi-currency, and you can activate your multi-currency module. After you activate your multi-currency module, you need to enable your multi-currency module. Okay. After that, you can select your home currency. Now, if you are in Sri Lanka, your home currency may be Sri Lankan rupees. And if you are in a different country, or if you are working for different company, a different or foreign company, you can use that currency as your home currency. And one important thing, after you set this home currency, you cannot change. Therefore, when you are selecting this home currency, please carefully check and save this home currency. Okay, tick enable multi-currency and select your currency and save. After you set your home currency, you can add foreign currencies. You can go to multi-currency and you can add currency. You can select required currency and you can add. After you add, it will display here, and the system will display currency code, that currency name, one currency, that home currency, what's the exchange rate, and one home currency, what is that foreign currency exchange rate, currency symbol, and comments. You can view daily exchange rate from here. You can select dates and you can view that exchange rate. And if you want to add more currencies, by clicking this add currency, you can add currencies. And if you want to delete any currency, you can delete by clicking this delete line. Okay, like that, you can activate your multi-currency module and you can add currencies. Okay, now you can take 5 minutes and you can practice this multi-currency module. Okay, now we have completed company settings. Next, we will move to supplier module. Okay, after complete supplier module, we will do customer module. Okay, let's start from supplier module. Now, first, we will create supplier categories. You can create supplier categories from suppliers list, supplier categories. Now, you can use these supplier categories for grouping your suppliers, and you can categorize your suppliers based on their location, geographical area, product wise, or purchase pattern. You can categorize your suppliers. For an example, you can categorize foreign suppliers, local suppliers, or product wise. You can categorize an area wise, western, southern, central, like that. You can categorize your suppliers, and these supply categories mainly used for reporting purposes. When you are generating your reports, you can filter by supplier categories. Okay, like this, you can group, or you can filter by supplier category. Okay, you can create new supplier categories by clicking this add category. After that, enter supplier category and save. Okay, go to suppliers list, supplier categories, click add category, enter supplier category and save. Okay, now you can create few supplier categories. After you create supply categories, you can view list of categories. And if you want, you can sort by ascending or descending order by clicking this heading. And from actions, you can edit or delete this supplier category. Okay. Next, we will move to how to create suppliers. There are two methods. First one, you can go to suppliers list of suppliers and click add a supplier, or you can directly click go to suppliers and click add a supplier. Then you can redirect to this screen. Here you can enter supplier details and you can save your supplier. Okay. Right. First, you can enter supplier name. And if you have entered any supplier category, you can select this supplier category, or if you haven't created any supplier categories, you can create new supplier category by clicking this add new category. You can enter supply category here and save, then it will display here. Next, you can enter opening balance. Now, sometimes you may implement the system for all company. If you are implementing for all company, you may have supplier balances. If you have any supplier balance, you can enter as opening balance. Okay. Next, you can select that opening balance as a date. This should be your implementation date. Okay, implementation start date. you can use as opening balance as at date. Next, you can see this activity box. If you take this is a active supplier, and later if you want to inactivate this supplier, you can untick this option. Next, credit limit. If your supplier giving credit for you, you can enter the credit limit here. Next, tax reference. If you are a tax registered company, and if your supplier also tax registered company, you can enter that tax number. Okay, supplier's tax number you can enter here. Next, auto allocate payment to oldest invoice. Now, if you tick this option, when you are enter supplier payment, system will automatically allocate that payment to oldest outstanding invoice. Okay. If you tick this option, when you enter any payment, supplier payment, system will automatically allocate to oldest invoice. Okay. You'll check one. Go to suppliers transactions, supplier payments. Click add supplier payment and select supplier. Now this supplier has outstanding invoices. If you enter any amount here, system will automatically allocate that in payments to oldest invoices. You can view that invoice date. You can sort by clicking these headings. System will automatically allocate to oldest invoice. If you want to manually allocate, you can untick this option, or when you are processing the transaction also, you can select manually. Okay. If you tick this option, system will automatically allocate to oldest invoices. Next, you can enter that supplier postal address and physical address. If it is same address, you can copy from postal address, and if you want, you can view it from the Google Map. Okay, you can view from Google Map. Next, you can enter contact details, your supplier contact details, email address, telephone number, mobile number, fax number, web address, and business registration number, and other details you can enter. Okay, and after that, if you click these links, you can directly email, or if you have Skype account, you can call, or you can log into that email website. Like that, you can directly email, call, or log into their website. Next, default settings. From these default settings, you can set discount rate, tax type, credit period, and currency. Okay. Now, if your supplier regularly giving discounts for you, you can set a discount. And when you are into transactions, supplier transactions, that supplier purchase order or supplier invoices, system will automatically take that invoice. Okay. Now I'll open with supplier with transactions. Now this supplier giving 25% discount. And when you enter any supplier purchase order, we will enter supplier invoice. Go to suppliers, transaction, select supplier invoice. We'll select supplier. You can see this default 25% discount display here. If you set any default discount, system will display here. Right. Next, default tax rate. If you set default tax rate, when you enter any transaction, system will display that tax rate. Okay, now you can see 8% tax rate selected. And if you are giving, if your supplier giving any credit period, you can enter here. And when you enter transaction, system will calculate that due date. Okay, now we are invoicing on 22nd. System will calculate that due date next month, 24th. Okay, like that. If you set any default details, system will calculate or system will display those details when you are processing the transactions. Okay. Next, you can select that supplier's currency. If you set any foreign suppliers, when you are invoicing for that supplier, or when you enter supplier invoices, that supplier currency will display here. In addition to that, you can view the exchange rates. Okay, all details will in supplier's currency, that supplier balance, credit limit, item values, those details in supplier's currency. Next, there are a few tabs. Now, details, additional contacts, banking details, notes, user-defined fields. You can edit. Activity will automatically update from the system. Okay, now I selected supplier with transactions, and I'll move to activity tab. Here you can see supplier opening balance, supplier adjustments, supplier invoices, supplier returns, supplier payments, and supplier balance. And if you want to view details, by clicking this detail button, you can view that transactions. And also if you want to view this each document, by clicking this document, you can view. Next, additional contact. Now, if you enter any contact details here, and if you want to add additional contacts, you can enter here. You can enter customer name, contact name, designation, telephone number, fax number, mobile number, and email address. And if you want to add more contact details, by clicking this plus mark, you can add. Next, banking details. You can enter supplier bank details, that account holder name, account number, bank name, branch code, and account type. Next, notes. Now from here, if you want, you can add any notes. Now for an example, if you want to arrange any meeting with this supplier, you can set an action date, and you can enter as meeting. Then it will display on that action date. System will display on the dashboard. Okay, from this dashboard to-do list, you can view these supply notes. You can view. Right. Next, and also if you want, you can attach documents. Now, for an example, if you have any agreements with that suppliers, you can attach that documents in here. You can click this add attachment and you can attach your document. You can attach up to 2 MB and you can attach up to 5 attachments. Next, user defined fields. From here, you can add additional details, and we have discussed how to change these label names, and you can change these label names from company settings, and you can add these details. Next, personal information. Here, due to Data Protection Act, you need to set a date, and if you want to extend, you can extend that data, removal date, you can extend. Next, purchases graph. You can view that purchases graph. You can compare last year and this year purchases. Monthly purchases you can view, and you can compare with last year with this year. Next, purchase orders. You can view purchase orders, purchase order number, purchase order document number, purchase order number, document date, purchase value, you can view. Next, you can view unpaid invoices. You can view unpaid invoice date, document number, reference, due date, anticipated payment date, total, outstanding, and status of that supplier invoice. Next, from report layouts, you can set that supplier purchase order formats, invoice format, return format, and supplier statements. Okay. After you enter these details, you can save this supplier. Even you enter a supplier name, you can save the supplier, and it's better if you can enter this additional details. Okay, now you can practice this how to create suppliers. After you create these suppliers, you can view that suppliers in list of suppliers. Okay. This is list of suppliers. You can go to supplier list from suppliers list of suppliers, and created suppliers you can view from here, and you can view total number of suppliers. And this grid you can customize from this by clicking this grid gear button and click customize grid. And if you want to add any column, you can tick that column and you can add. And if you want to remove any column, you can untick that column tick and you can save. Okay, like that you can customize this grid. And also if you want to sort, you can sort by clicking these headings. You can sort ascending or descending order, and you can sort by multi-columns. Okay. And you can filter, and if you want, you can search. Like that, you can search, filter this list of suppliers. Okay. Next, there are few buttons available here. Inactivated button. If you select any supplier, you can those buttons will activate. If you want to delete, you can delete that selected suppliers. And if you want to mark as active or inactive, you can mark active or inactive. And if you want to update any field, now here you can see category, auto allocate, discount percentage. If you want to change, you can change from here. Now for an example, first 3 suppliers, categories local, and then sale. If you want to change that supplier category, here we can select category, and we can select category. We'll select to foreign. Now you can see all three suppliers category has changed. And first three suppliers discount rate is 0. You'll change that. Click up, select that suppliers, click update, and select discount percentage. Here we will enter 10 and save. Now you can see that discount percentage has changed. Okay, like that, you can update, you can bulk update that selected suppliers. In addition to that, actions available here. If you want to quick view, you can quick view that supplier name, contact name, the details, their supplier purchase history, supplier outstanding, recent transactions, unpaid invoices, all transactions, purchase orders, outstanding amount. Those details you can view from quick view. Next, if you want to edit any supplier, you can edit. And you can delete that supplier, or if you want to create any purchase order, invoice, or payment, by clicking these links, you can create that transaction. Okay, like that, you can create suppliers and you can sort that supplier list. Right. Now you can practice how to create suppliers, and we will wrap up for today. If you have any questions, please ask. Okay,